Pixies are an American alternative rock band from Boston. They were formed in 1986 by Black Francis, who became solo artist Frank Black, and Joey Santiago, who went on to do film and TV scores, Kim Deal, who went on to front the Breeders, and David Lovering, who went on to play with other bands that I haven't heard of, and is also a magician. They released 4 or 5 albums before disbanding in 1993, and they have been back together again since 2004 with some different members and some same members, and have had another 5 albums since then. Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of Come On Pilgrim by Pixies, which was released in 1987 and is either an EP or their first album, depending on how you classify it. It has the characteristics enough to be classified as an album according to album sales, but it is sometimes described as an EP, and Acclaimed Music have done that, or sometimes described as a mini album. There we go. It's my first time listening to it. So in my ignorance, I've heard of Pixies, and I assumed they were punk, partly from the kind of respect that I have observed for them, which I think is akin to that of a band like New York Dolls. Maybe you could say there are elements of punk here, but maybe it's pop punk. Well, there's a bit more to it than that, I would say. I'm not quite sure how I would ultimately genre hole it, and maybe I'm not going to try too hard. It's fastish, it's pretty tight, it's quite energetic, it has immediacy, but quite a bit of variety and a decent amount of playing skill. If I were to refer to British punk bands, I'd say this is more like Buzzcocks than the Sex Pistols, in that it's got a bit more of a solid skill grounding to it. Mostly we've got 2 guitars, bass and drums. It's fairly tight and punchy. Like I said, there's plenty of energy. I think it's nicely done musically. I enjoyed it. There's some unusual twists in the music, and particularly bits of Spanish influence at play. It feels pretty live. I suspect that they were good as a live band. Maybe they still are. If you've seen them live, answers on a postcard, please, or tell me in the comments what they were like. The singers here are Francis and Kim. Mostly Francis. He's quite a high voice and quite dramatic, and which lends itself well to the music and to what they're doing. The songs are unusual at times. Actually, at most of the time, they're unusual. They're kind of theatrical, painting some odd pictures. We've got stuff about sex and death and other adult themes like that. And some stuff about historical stuff coming in here. There's a certain kind of, I'm not really sure what the right word is, but it's maybe intelligence to the songwriting, I would say. So I knew that they were very well regarded. I think I get the fuss about them. They're unusual and enjoyable, and I liked it. I did enjoy this album. So I'm sure that there'll be lots of people out there who have stories about Pixies, about their own love for this album and others of theirs, because I know that they're really well regarded. I'd love for anybody to share their thoughts on this album or on my review. And I'm sure there are people who know far more about Pixies than I do out there. So you might say, well, why is this guy who doesn't know anything about them doing these reviews? Well, it's a personal journey that I'm on, and I'm inviting people to come along on this journey. So please share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to join me on this journey, hit subscribe and get yourself notified. I'm producing these video reviews, roughly 1 a day at the moment. So get your daily dose of Dan. But that's it from me for now.